The IL Cares Foundation also made a donation of 500 tablets to the Ministry of Education. This comes at a pivotal time for Bahamian students who need to access the various virtual learning platforms. Recalling the times when computers were not a necessity but more of a luxury, Island Lux CEO Sebastien Bastian said the electronic devices are now a major key for students seeking to continue their education in this COVID-19 environment.
Coming from a working class family and understanding the need at a young age when I was small, when computers were a luxury for many people, and the sacrifice that my parents had to make to ensure that I had one to do my schoolwork at the time. Fast tracking many years later, I couldn't imagine that there are persons still in the community that does not have an electronic device, which is a necessity in 2020, even not just for e-learning, but just for research, to do homework, and so many other things. So, the IL Cares Foundation has been actively going at this technology drive for about the last 5 years. We'd have donated about over 2,000 computers to the public school sector. This is 500 of a 1,500 tablet drive that we have going on. And we'll continue to basically do our part in ensuring that each child, as much as we can, have a device to participate in the e-learning and beyond.
Education Minister Jeffrey Lloyd says the donation is important at this time, noting that while it's been difficult to bring technology to the forefront of education, circumstances has forced his ministry to move in that direction.
3 years in the making, certainly in this particular iteration, but more than 20 years within the domain of the Ministry of Education that we have tried to bring the use of technology to the forefront of the daily experience of education and educators. And it is Dorian and the pandemic which has accelerated that projection and that trajectory. Of course, as a result of that, many of our people, participants, stakeholders, were not as prepared as maybe they could have been or ought to have been. And so there is a blessing that we derive from the ominous cloud that hangs over us known as Dorian and the pandemic, and that is we are now forced to achieve and accomplish and to realize that which we have been trying to for the past 20 plus years in education. I maintain that the virtual space created and now being occupied by society across its many subdivisions is here to stay.